What up guys, this is Amar from amarguitar.com. In today's video I'm going to show you how to play They Love Each Other by the Grateful Dead. This is one of the easier 3-chord dead tunes to play, and I've designed this lesson to be digestible for the beginner. I'll also be giving a lot of intermediate tips and tricks so you guys can stretch your boundaries and grow as players. There's a link in the description to download the free tab, grab your guitar, and let's dive in. The intro sounds like this. Let's talk about what's going on here. We'll call our first riff, riff 1. The chord for this riff is just a good old G chord. And Jerry's just focusing on the root in octaves. We've got the note G on our 3rd fret right here of the E string, and we've got our note G on the 5th fret of the D string. We can see that both of these notes are coming from right within this G chord. For the walk-up, Jerry uses double stops. Double stops are just a technical term for 2 notes played simultaneously on a string instrument. Now, let's look at where these notes are actually coming from. These double stops are right out of the C shape of F, F sharp, and G. We can see that Jerry's notes in this lick are coming from right out of that shape. For riff 2, we start off with our octaves again. Then Jerry plays a classic blues lick in G. In this lick, he bars the D, G, and B strings on the 5th fret, then bars the same 3 strings on the 3rd fret, and then hammers onto the 3rd to the 4th fret on the G string. This gives us a G7 sound. So this lick that we're playing is not only from the intro, but also makes up a good part of the verse as well. A few tips on getting the feel of this right. We want to play most of these notes staccato. And that in Italian just means detached, so the notes are essentially detached from each other. Let's hear how it would sound if we didn't play them staccato. Doesn't quite have the right feel, whereas that does. Just keeping those notes detached from each other helps add to the funkiness of the riff. 2 quick tips for those who want to take it to the next level. Sometimes Jerry would play this without a pick at all. It makes a great exercise for getting your fingerstyle playing down. You can use your thumb for the low E string and your index for the D string. For the walk-up, I use my middle and ring fingers. And for the bluesy G7 lick, I use my index, middle, and ring fingers. And finally, Jerry would do a trill on the G7 pretty frequently. And for a trill, you just leave that bar down and kind of tickle that 4th fret. For the verse, Jerry plays riff 1, then riff 2, then riff 1 again, and then he walks up to a C chord. It sounds like this. For the C chord, Jerry didn't usually play rhythm. He improvised lead fills. So what I've got here is something that I hear Bob Weir do pretty frequently, which is a typical reggae strum pattern. It may look a little scary written out, but it's easier than it appears. We start with just playing the lower part of the C bar chord of the downstroke, and then a downstroke and an upstroke on the full C chord. I'll repeat the rhythm. And for the second half of the rhythm, we have a muted downstroke, a muted upstroke, and a full C downstroke. When we put that together and repeat it, we get this. If that is a little tough for you, keep going. You'll get it. You can instead play a regular C chord. You can just do 4 strums instead of playing all the fancy stuff. There's also a great little lick that Jerry throws in at the end of the C chord going into the G chord where he uses double stops. I'll play that for you. And that was it right there. And for this, we've just got our 5th fret of our G and E strings. Hitting that and sliding up to the 7th. I like to put a muted note in between. And what I'm doing, I'm just kind of muting the rest of the strings with my index finger. That's why you see them up here, but I'm only playing these 2 notes. So let's play the verse. You can play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, it goes into the chorus. For the chorus, our chords are going to be F, C, and G. For the F chord, I prefer a rootless voicing. Just 4 notes. You can use a regular F chord if you'd like. Regular F bar chord. For C, regular open C. Same thing with G. Our strum pattern is going to be down, 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 up. So. You can see that I'm picking the C individually on the second downstroke. That's just what I like to do. You can play the full chord instead if you'd like. The F, C, G pattern repeats 3 times, and then we have a couple bars of G to get us back to the next section. What we often hear Jerry do in the song is play the F and C chords, and then he reverts back to the intro and plays a similar walk-up lick. That sounds like this. For that part, just got the regular first 2 chords. Intro, lick, then 5th and 7th 5th fret on the E and G strings, chromatically up to the 7th fret. This lick also is our outro. Now that you have an understanding of all the parts in the song, the next best step is to practice. I suggest you practice along with The Dead. I'll put the May 8th, 1977 Cornell version right up here, or you can practice along with my cover, which I'll put right up here. In the next lesson in this series, I'll be going over the melody as well as improv tips. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.